Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is Silver Bean here, bringing you guys another team builder for our UBL Season 1, Week 7 this time. The Crystal Palace Saints are taking on the Adelaide Honchcrows in what is going to be a very scary match this week. Very, very scary match. We've got a very scary team up against us this week. But if you did miss last week though, before we go any further, if you missed our last week's match, definitely go and check it out because we will probably touch up a bit on it as we go through today's little conversation here. But spoiler alert, you've been warned. We picked up a W last week, so we are now 2 and 4. Had to pick that 2 and 4 now in the season, which we're doing much better than I was hoping. And I'm very pleased with how well we're doing. So we picked up 2 wins back to back the last couple of weeks. It's been amazing. Our opponent is currently 3 and 3, so they are 1 up on us. They've got a very scary team. I'm going to talk you guys through it. We're going to sort of discuss, and then we'll go through our team. You can see a little bit already, but we're going to go through our team a little bit. Before we go any further, hit that like button down below if you're hyped, and definitely make sure you guys subscribe if you are new. But onto our little conversation here. So onto my opponent's team. Up first, the scariest thing that I was dreading. They actually, fun fact, they picked first when it came to like choosing our teams in our draft. They were the very first overall team to actually choose a pick. And straight away, what got picked? Tapu Koko. One of the scariest things, fastest Pokemon on the field, just absolutely terrifying. Tapu Koko is, I'm really not looking forward to this thing. Tapu Koko is very scary. Sets up the electric terrain when it turns up straight away. It makes all its electric type moves more powerful. Incredibly fast, base 130 speed, base 115 attack, and base 95 special attack. Nothing to be laughed at. Chuck a timid nature on this thing, which is usually what it's done, and Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, just does the works. I have very few switch-ins to this thing. I've got one main overall switch-in and a couple if necessary. But this thing is so offensively scary. You can run Himp Power Fire, Himp Power Ice, Dazzling Gleam, which wrecks most of my team. This thing's gonna be very tricky to take down. Fortunately, it's not the bulkiest thing. It's only got base 85 defend and base 75 special defense, so it's not very bulky. Hopefully, we can hopefully try and work around it. But Tapu Koko is very, very scary. They also have a Latias. Why not? A Latias. Fortunately, it's not Latios, but it is Latias, which is the bulkier version. Base 110 special attack and speed, base 130 special defense. Oh my goodness, this thing is going to eat hits. If this thing sets up a Carmine, it's going to be game over. I have very few things that I can do. I would have to set up, I'd have to get a +1 and start hitting it with a physically offensive moves like knockoffs and crunches and stuff like that. I have very few things to deal with this Latias. I cannot let this thing set up in my face. But obviously Carmine, Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, Psychic / Shock, those kind of sets, very standard. Recover most likely as well. Maybe if he wants to be like a Toxic Stool version, so if it's physically or especially bulky, it could be a bit of a Toxic Stool. Latias is going to be very scary to deal with. It's got really good overall bulk, relatively special bulk. Like base 80 in HP is nothing to laugh at. So Latias is going to be scary to deal with. I'm not looking forward to that in one bit. Moving on now, we got their Katana. Katana, why do they have to have Katana? Katana is very scary to deal with. Very, very scary. Base 181 attack. Insane. Base 109 speed, base 131 physical defense. Everything else is just... But very, very scary. I cannot let this thing start. If this thing is Scarf, which more than likely it will be, I cannot let this thing set up. Well, not so much set up, but I cannot let this thing start knocking things out and getting beast boost, because it's going to sweep. It'll sweep my entire team. One good knockoff on a Mon, if it kills, beast boost. He can knock off and pretty much sweep my entire team. I cannot let that happen at all. This thing's very scary. Fortunately, it doesn't have the best coverage and moves. It's usually either like Leaf Blades, like Smart Strikes, Sacred Sword, Knockoff. Very standard set, this thing. So I'll know roughly what kind of moves it's going to use. But it's a case of not letting it get beast boost. But I do have a few counters. What in the world is going on? Hold the phone. And we're back. Sorry about that. I had a cut there. Neighbours were making noise, so I've had to quickly pause the video because that was far too much on the microphone. But hey ho, where was I? I think I was talking about Katana. can't remember where we left off, but hey, overall, very scary. I cannot let that thing get a beast boost and start sweeping, so we've got to get rid of it ASAP. Alola Muck, another very scary mon. Alola Muck was actually on my radar. I wanted to draft it really badly, but it did get sniped a couple turns. I think, yeah, because I was turn 4, so he got picked on the way back down. But yeah, 3 turns before me, he got sniped, so I was a little bit annoyed, but I ain't too worried. Alola Muck though, very scary, very good, decent on the bulk. Got base 100 defense, special defense, sorry, base 75 defense, base 105 HP. But because of its typing, it resists a lot of hits. The only thing that really does put in the work is ground type moves. Everything else, to an extent, just does nothing. Psychic type moves, I'm immune because of its dark typing. Fairy type moves do nothing because of the poison typing. It just counters one way or another. So really, ground is my only way to get rid of this thing. Fortunately, it's not very fast. It does hit hard, base 105 on the attack. It does get also priority, which things like Shadow Sneak. It also gets things like Knockoff, Gunk Shot, Poison Jab. Obviously, it does also get the Elemental Punches. So we definitely got to keep an eye out for Alola Muck. Most likely, it will be max HP, max attack. That's usually pretty standard. And then maybe with a Thought Vest or Leftovers or something. But we've definitely just got to keep an eye out for it and try get rid of this thing as soon as. So that's going to be fun to try and take down. Moving on now, probably one of the scariest things on his team is the Araquanid. I have very few things to deal with this. Araquanid is incredibly specially bulky. Base 132 special defense, base 92 in defense, and then 68 in HP. So its physical defense isn't all that, but its special defense is there. It gets water absorbed, so it can eat all my water type hits, and it gets water bubbles, so it takes half damage from fire type moves and deals double damage, if I'm not mistaken, on water type moves, which is insane. This thing's gonna be very tricky. If this thing comes and it's got liquidation, lunge, which lunge I think is a move that guarantees to lower my attack, by 1 stage, that's gonna be annoying. You know, if he sets up sticky webs, I cannot let him get sticky webs up on my team. If he gets sticky webs up, he sweeps. I've got nothing, absolute nothing. Cannot touch his team whatsoever. If he gets webs up and successfully keeps them up, I cannot do anything. So I have to get rid of this Araquanid as soon as. But we'll touch up on that in a minute. But yeah, Araquanid's gonna be very scary to deal with. The Camerupt, I'm really not worried about. I can see him bringing it because it does counter a lot of my team. But at the same time, I don't. I have a lot of counters to it. So Camerupt is a maybe. But Camerupt very, very bulky, slow as hell. Like, it ain't doing nothing. Base 20 speed, base 70 HP, base 100 in defenses. Like, it could take a hit, not a super effective hit though, it really could. But on the offensive, base 120 attack and base 145 special attack. So if he does damage to me, like a Lava Plume or an Earth Power or something like that, it's gonna hurt. You know, a Fire Blast from this thing will more likely take out something. So we definitely got to be careful with that. Moving on now with the Lanoon. Now the Lanoon, I'm not expecting him to bring, but I have prepared for it. But if he does bring it, I am going to be a little bit worried because Lanoon gets Belly Drum. And if Lanoon successfully gets a Belly Drum, he can extreme speed my entire team and I am screwed. The only thing that I can do is go into my Chandelure. But if he gets this thing, that's pretty sure gets Knockoff as well, or like Pursuit at least. And more likely, like, you know, it's going to hurt either way. Like, he's going to like seriously do some serious damage. So I've got to be careful with this thing. So I guess C-Bomb crazily. Base 100 speed, 70 attack, but if it gets a Belly Drum off, it's going to just destroy souls. So Lanoon, I'm not too worried about, but I cannot let it get a Belly Drum off successfully. The Raichu I am very nervous about. I'm not worried about too much taking it down, because one good physical hit and it's pretty much gone. Even like a Shadow Ball, it's pretty much not going to live. The only thing I am worried about is taking hits from the thing, because if he has the electric terrain up, his speed is doubled because of Surge Surfer, and any electric type attacks are basically like boosted in power. The Volt Switches, Thunders, Thunderbolts, etc. are gonna hurt. I cannot let this thing get us like do anything really. If he gets a nasty plot off as well, game. Like, it's literally just game. Because Surge Surfer like literally makes the team makes him outspeed everything on my team. Even if I do have a Choice Scarf, and he can just freely Thunderbolt, Psychic, Side Shot, I don't know, Focus Blast, whatever, my entire team. So if this thing gets a +3, game over. It really will be game over, especially if the terrain is still successfully up. So definitely got to keep an eye out for this thing, got to take it down as soon as possible. The Jellicent, not overly too worried about. Don't expect it to come. First body is annoying, you know, water absorb could be a bit tricky to deal with. But other than Scold, you know, Will-O-Wisp, Recover, Stall, things like that. Overly not worried about Jellicent, really not worried about it. I don't really see it coming, other than maybe just as a special wall, really, just to kind of counter maybe a few things. But I have too many counters to him, so I don't see that coming. The Minior I do see coming. That could be a bit tricky to deal with. It could be a potential lead as well, Minior. Good thing with Minior though is because 9 times out of 10 it's Shell Smash White Herb. Pretty sure it's White Herb. White Herb or Power Herb. I think it's White Herb. But if I can get an Intimidate off on this thing before he goes for a Shell Smash, the White Herb will activate and it will remove that -1 Intimidate, which will basically mean he will lose his negative, like he won't lose, he will keep the negative defense stats when he uses Shell Smash. So we have opportunity, we have a chance. So we definitely got to make sure that this thing does not get a free Shell Smasher and successfully pulls it off. But overall, I'm not too worried about this thing. Not too worried. More worried about taking a hit after the Shell Smash. And then the Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan again, not too worried about. It's a dedicated spinner. It does get also the elemental punches, gets bullet punch, gets power up punch and drain punch and stuff. Overall, not really worried about this thing. Not really. It's quite specially bulky. Base 120, base 110, sorry, in the special defense. That's quite. It could take a hit quite well. Otherwise, I'm not really fussed about this thing. It's just going to be there. Let's talk about our team though. We've rambled on enough and we've had delays here and there. So let's talk about our team. Up first, we have Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold, who is going to be our Crocodile, rocking that Choice Scarf as always with the Intimidate. Intimidate is obviously there for most of his team being physical. We can get a -1. Also for that Katana, they're more likely to never hit. Pretty much for most of his team. So we definitely rocking that Intimidate. Earthquake, Knockoff, Superpower, Stone Edge. Earthquake pretty much bodies to an extent most of his team. It will body the obviously the Tapu Koko, Mark. It will body the Raichu. It will body the Camerupt. It'll probably body the Noon, the Hitmonchan more likely. Earthquake's too good. Knockoff is there just if we need to get rid of whatever certain items. Also, Knockoff is there for the Latias because I can pretty much two-shot the Latias with the Knockoff. But overall, very, very good. Slightly random sort of investments in stats. Max attack, and then only 84 in speed. Now that 84 in speed guarantees that I can outspeed a timid nature, say Life Orb or Choice Specs Tapu Koko. If that Tapu Koko isn't rocking a scarf, which I'll be very surprised if it is, the Tapu Koko is the fastest thing on his team without a choice item, base 130, and with 84 in speed and us holding a choice scarf, we guarantee outspeed that Tapu Koko, guarantee. So that's a huge benefit for us that we can try and use, because then I've also managed to put the other extra investments in his defense, just so we can try and maybe live a hit from, say, the Muck or something else. We're not going to live a hit from the Katana, really, not really many things are. But no, I'm very, very excited to bring Mr. Gold. Obviously, Lumiere is back once again. Lumiere is too good, too good. Chandelure has come to every single match, and I think it will continue to come to every single match. Although it's incredibly frail, it's just so good on the offensive side. Obviously, this week, once again, we're bringing the Choice Scarf. Ability-wise, I'm bringing Flame Body, not Flash Fire, because Flash Fire really is only going to benefit the Camerupt. Flame Body is there if he brings the Katana and decides to somehow knocks me out. I could potentially, got a 30% chance to get a Flame Body burn on that thing. Same with the Muck, same with the Araquanid or whatever. If he somehow manages to knock me out or just hits me physically, I can have a 30% chance to burn that thing. So that I thought was more important. Plus, I'm very unlikely to need an Infiltrator because I don't see anything like rocking subs or flex and stuff like that. I don't see that. Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Psychic. Psychic's there for Hitmonchan. Flamethrower and Shadow Ball are pretty much there to cover his entire team. Shadow Ball, Flamethrower does a minimum of 600% to a Katana. Minimum. The Shadow Ball guarantees to Oko as well. And Psychic's there just as coverage. So overall, this thing's just going to pretty much wreck shop on the entire team. Red Storm's coming back, Omega Gyarados, Waterfall Crunch, Earthquake, Dragon Dance. Didn't see the point of Ironhead this week. Only thing that would really benefit is maybe the Minior or the Tapu Koko. But Earthquake covers the Tapu Koko and Waterfall covers the Minior. So didn't see the point of it. Crunch is there for the Latias because it guarantees 2 shots it. Plus it's there just for the Raichu, whatever reason I need to use it. So we have coverage. Max speed and max attack. Pretty standard set, and obviously Dragon Dance. Hopefully we can get a +1. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've got Spirit Vine as well. Spirit Vine's making a return. It's been a couple of weeks since we've used Spirit Vine, but I thought this week it just had such good use because it guarantees to live any hit, regardless from a Tapu Koko. It will do about Tapu Koko in the terrain will do about 20% to me. Max special defense, max HP. I will live pretty much anything that Tapu Koko wants to do, plus some. An Earthquake is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on if that Tapu Koko stays in, which is insane. Toxic Stealth Rocks, standard set really from that part. If I can get rocks up on this thing on his team as soon as, we are going to be sitting very pretty. Rock Slides there just purely as a stab. If like maybe I don't know, like it's really ready for the Araquanid and maybe the Minior, because the Minior I think it takes it down, but it's a 2-shot, and the Araquanid is about the same. Plus with Storm Drain he can't hit me. So Rockstar was too good, and Earthquake's just a wreck shot. So we're rocking leftovers. Gasteric once again is coming back. Last week Gasteric was one of our MVPs. Absolutely amazing. This week I'm hoping it can do the same. Similar set, this time though, instead of Energy Ball we are bringing Sticky Webs. I need the webs up on his team. Big time. He has too many fast hitters with the Tapu Koko, with the Katana, with that Raichu as well if it gets Surge Surfer boost up. I cannot touch his team if I don't have webs on. Like, I have to make sure his Araquanid is down and gone, like big time, just gone, before I lose my Gasteric. Like, I have to make sure I get webs up on his field successfully, and he doesn't have webs up on my side of the field. And then the Hitmonchan as well. I need to get rid of that thing as soon as, because then webs are there to stay. But Thunder, pretty much 2 shots, like the Tapu Koko in the terrain, and wreck shop and everything. Voltage is there just for, you know, maneuverability, whatever the word is. And then Bug Buzz, 2 shots. The guarantee, well, it depends on its investments, but it guarantees to pretty much kill the Katana in one go. 2-shot the Mark. It 2-shots the Latias. It 2-shots the Raichu. It just puts in the work. Absolutely puts in the work. Max speed, max special attack, standard stuff. And last but not least, we have Destiny. Destiny is making a return. Love this thing. Bringing a Rocky helmet this week, slightly different, more physically bulky this one, max physical bulk, HP and defense. This thing is designed to pretty much counter the what do you call it? The Katana. I lost my word there. Pretty much designed to counter the Katana. I guarantee live a Smart Strike. Leaf Blade, I may, depends on whether or not I've got if he gets an Intimidate off. That'll be a maybe, but we shall see. But yeah, once again I'm bringing knockoff on this thing. I love knockoff on Tapu Fini, and I'm even bringing a negative attack nature. Like knockoff to a Latias with his Hellhound does about 20%. From a negative attacking, from a negative investment attack natured Tapu Fini with knockoff, that is a lot of damage. So I thought it was too good. And then Himbo Fire guarantees 2-hit KOs. The Katana, it will pretty much OHKO it if it's already like chipped down a little bit. And then Surf is just there for like as overall coverage. I didn't see the point of bringing Moonblast. He has too many counters and distances. Really, the only thing that will benefit is the Latias. So Surf was better. And then we've got Defog, so I can get rid of his webs or his rocks if he's about to set any up. But as I say, if he gets webs up on his side of the field, I have to go into Tapu Fini as soon as get the Defog off and get rid of that Araquanid. That Araquanid has to go. As soon as the Araquanid's gone, I can free set up webs on my side of the field, knowing that I will outspeed his entire team, and that will honestly be the game changer. If I don't get webs up, they've won. It's simple as I need webs. Webs are too good, and I must have them on my side. So. Oh, on their side. But that's our team. That's our team this week. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I should make any changes, let me know. But the match will be going up tomorrow. Next week we've got another very scary match, so we'll have another scary team builder for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, as always, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and if you're supporting your Crystal Palisades, then you should definitely show the support. It'd be greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow in our match. But until then, I'm Silverbeanie, and I'll catch all y'all beautiful people next time.